Hello and welcome to our third video about data tables. In our previous videos, we have shown how we can load a data table from a database and how we can add rows to this data table, how we can perform a distinct select of this data table, how we can filter the data table using some parameters, and next we have shown how we can calculate the number of rows of this data table, how we can check if a data table contains a certain column based on the name of the column. And we have looked through the column of the data table and we have retrieved all the names of the columns of the data table. And now let's move to our next demonstration and see how we can iterate through all the rows of the data table and make some changes. For example, let's comment out this portion from our previous demonstration, and let's write string row value oops, equal to string.empty. And now let's make a for each loop for each data row, in this case data row, let's call it row, in data table dot rows. And now we can say row value equal to row, and which column we want. We want the column size, again, plus a comma to divide the values. And now we can say label1 dot text equal to row value. Let's see, again, let's make something 0 row value dot length -1, and let's save it and view what we got. Oops, we made a mistake, because here we should have written plus equal to add to every entry a new value. And in fact, now we have 100, 120, etc. We now have all row values of this data table. Now, let's imagine that we want to perform some changes in the data inside the data table without touching the database. So before we bind the data table to the grid, let's add some code to modify the content of the rows. And for example, let's write again a for each loop, data row in data table dot rows. And now we will want to change, for example, the value 100 in size to 1000. So we will write, for example, if row of the column size is equal to 100. We want what we want to do. Wait a second. We have to convert this to an integer. Convert dot to integer. Convert to integer this value. Okay. If it's 100, what we want to do, we want to change it to 1000. So row, again, row size is equal to 1000. Let's see if it worked. Yes. Now that we have done that, we can also demonstrate that instead of a for each loop, we could have used a for loop at the same way. So let's declare a for loop. What is the top value? The top value is data table dot rows dot count, what we demonstrated in our previous video. And now we can say row. Now we can say data table dot rows, and which row we want. We want the row of the current row, and the column we want again size. Size equal to 2000. Let's add again as before an if statement. So let's say if again this size, let's convert it to an integer, convert dot to integer equal to 100, then convert it to 2000. And let's view it again. Cancel, viewing browser, and in fact we have 2000. Okay, thank you for watching. We will continue in our next video.